So this week we are looking at the importance of learning to navigate mystery well if we want to live a naturally supernatural life. You know, if we want to stay in a place of faith to see breakthrough, we've got to process our disappointment well and go to the Father quickly with our disappointment, because if we don't, over time, if we let it build up, offence will build up in our hearts and faith will diminish. Let me just give you a few signs as to whether there might be offence in your heart, because sometimes it's obvious, but sometimes it's a lot more subtle. So it can look like things like this. When people share stories of God breaking in, you struggle to celebrate. Even if you're celebrating on the outside, you can be annoyed on the inside. You've stopped praying for and believing God for things that you used to pray for and believe Him for. You struggle to dream with God about your future. When people talk about God's goodness, you find yourself feeling cynical and switching off and withdrawing on the inside. Or when people around you pray for miracles and more of God's kingdom to break out, you disengage and you may even find yourself feeling angry. So I want to encourage you in this week's activation to get with God and ask Him, is there any disappointment in my heart that you want me to process? And then I want to encourage you, depending on what He shows you, to work through the process that I outlined in the talk. I want to encourage you to go after this. It's going to help you stay in a place of faith for breakthrough. And just to say, there are always going to be more fun things to do than process pain and disappointment. You're going to have to book this in and be intentional about it. And let this be the motivation for you. Your biggest area of battle can become your biggest area of breakthrough if you don't get offended.